Right, it's another exciting Apple day today. What have I got for you? The Apple TV. This is Apple TV 4K. So we've had 4K Apple TV before, but this is the 2022 version. And this is the Wi-Fi with Ethernet version. So you can plug your hard line in there, connect via both Wi-Fi and Ethernet. For a really solid connection. And that means that you get 128 gig of storage as well. The Wi-Fi only version comes with 64 gig of storage. Even that is way superior to most other TV streaming dongles and devices. A lot of them actually only come with 8 gig of storage, which is barely enough just to keep it running with its operating software and the basic apps that you need, let alone downloading other optional apps or games or storing files or anything like that on it. I mean, you're dreaming if you think you can do that with just 8 gig. So you're 128 gig here, and that's good because you can download games on this from Apple Arcade and play those as well. We'll get into that shortly. What you need to know is that those games run pretty well. In fact, everything runs pretty well because it's running on the A15 Bionic chip, which is a very zoopy-doopy chip that we've seen Apple use in its flash iPads and iPhones and things like that. Here's the remote. It's probably one of the more stylish remotes out there. It's a completely directional sort of touchpad on there, as well as it's got like a dedicated play pause button, so that's handy. And it's even got a Siri button there on the side, so you can push that and talk to Siri, just like you would with your phone or your iPad. Or your Mac for that matter. So anyway, enough of that. Let's plug it in, fire it up, and see how good that A15 chip really is. Right, let's show you a few tricks. What is the new Apple TV 4K got up its sleeve? So first of all, like a lot of streaming devices, you can set it up so it turns on your TV when you turn it on, or at least when you go to the home screen there. That's what the home screen looks like. And you'll see it's very similar sort of a thing to what we expect from an Apple device home screen. Just an endless lot of icons there, depending on what you've installed. You can move those around if you like. So I've moved my favorites up to this top bar here, and as you can see when I scroll through them, you get different sort of previews depending on what app it is. So my favorite app, Plex, which lets me watch files on my local server. You can see I'm watching Better Call Saul at the moment, and I can go up and continue watching that, dive straight back into that. Across to TVNZ, they're featuring some new programs there for me to look at. Netflix is showing me what I'm in the process of watching there. We can climb into Apple TV, and of course that works really seamlessly, and you can see how fast all this happens just straight into it, and that's thanks to the amazing processing power of the Apple TV device. So yeah, I can get straight back into Severance there. Interestingly, Andor, which I've got lined up to watch today, that's on Disney Plus, but I can access that via this Apple TV interface as well. If we go back to the home screen, so that's all great and everything looks great. Let's crack into this episode of Severance, and you'll see just how good everything sounds and looks.
Previously on Severance.
Petey is no longer with this company.
I'm sorry, Mark.
So yeah, we're enjoying all that Dolby Vision and
Down there is what they say.
4K content. It's pretty great. It all depends on your TV, of course, as to how good that stuff's going to be. So let's go back to the home screen, and I'll show you something else that's pretty cool about the Apple TV, because with just a ordinary everyday PS5 controller, for example, we can pair up. There you go, I've turned it on, and as you can see there, it's connected, and we can download some games with an arcade subscription. So everything from my Star Wars games there to Sonic Racing. We can have a bit of fun with SpongeBob.
Is this Barnacle?
Oh, so as you can tell, I'm really concentrating there. So anyway, rather than watch me die repeatedly on SpongeBob, obviously there are sort of first-person action games that we can play as well. So this is all available right there on your Apple TV, all in one place. And you can tell how fast it all works, how quickly everything starts. That's really thanks to the fact that you've got that hardwired Ethernet connection and that very zoopy doopy bionic chip running the show.